Hey, what's happening everyone? Welcome back to another video. So in the last video, we removed the bushings and the suspension arms on the MR2, and today we're going to install everything. Put the urethane bushes in, we've got some new ball joints and everything, and I am super keen to do that. So from the last video, we're starting off here. We've removed everything, we've put everything all together and ready to install in the car. So we do need to paint some of the arms because I am scared that some of it will rust having exposed metal on there. So first thing we're going to do is probably paint the arms and then put all the bushings in and start putting everything back together. So I also want to give a massive shout out to Alex Wilhelm over at Wilhelm Raceworks. So he sponsored one of his suspension correction kits. So the MR2 from factory, when you lower them, they feel okay. So when you drop adjust and coilovers, it mucks up the suspension geometry and how all the arms move. So I explained it in the previous video, but I'll explain it again. So the arms will sit at this level at stock ride height, and when you lower the car, they will come up. That will mess around with the suspension. It'll make it, react different to bumps and all that. So the way that you can correct the weird feel, the bump steer, is by spacing all the arms down. Doing?
Oh, we're just gonna compression test the Honda.
We're just checking to see if Naki's B6 is B16, B17, B18. Oh!
B18.
K20?
K20, I wish.
Yeah, we're just seeing if his K20's compression testing is fine.
Better than a K20.
Better?
Dizzy, you can't beat a Dizzy. The coil unplug nonsense, you don't need that.
We're going to start painting the suspension now. So Rust-Oleum, just generic paint. We're not trying to get the best job in the world because all we're trying to do is just cover up the exposed metal. I'll show you what I'm doing. It's not going to be a good paint job. You can't really see the thing at all. Alright guys, welcome back. It's now the next day and I don't exactly remember what went on in the first part of the video because I've been here all morning, all afternoon trying to get one part of each side done so I can show you what the suspension kit looks like installed, and then I can show you how to do it. So we've already installed first part at the front of the Wilhelm suspension geometry kit. You can see here some of the stuff over here. There's the tie rod spacer ending. We've got the new ball joint in. We have the RCA spacer right there as well. And of course the poly bushings right there. You can see the red poly bushes all in. Super easy to install. There's nothing really complicated about doing this. The only hard thing is that it's very time consuming and it's a lot of effort. So it's something that you don't really need to think about too much besides reading the instructions if you're going to install a Wilhelm suspension geometry kit. It's more actually doing the physical labor. I've had Ash over here helping me so much, bro. Having good fun, bro. And Lachlan is also here doing stuff in the Sylvia. So he's doing a full coolant flush. He's already done an oil change with some Royal Purple 10W40. See, I've heard mixed things about this oil. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, because he's using this to clean out his engine, the SR, because we don't really exactly know how much this thing's been serviced. Lachlan has also ordered a whole bunch of parts for this thing, so stay tuned. This thing's gonna turn into a really nice clean Sylvia, and the goal with this Sylvia is to turn it into something better than Nathan's. That's it, right? It just has to be better than Nathan's.
To be quicker than yours. That's the goal.
What, to beat the Chaser?
Yeah, 100%.
But Nathan's car's quicker than the Chaser. Don't you want to beat him?
Nathan's car is a garage queen. That doesn't move.
True. He doesn't ever drive the thing, does he? So yours is automatically winning.
Clearly, and the Aristo is the same thing. It's just got two garage queens. It's a... Leave my mustache alone, man.
If you don't know Ash, he has a YouTube channel as well.
Ash who?
Ash space who?
Yep.
Ash who? You guys got to go check him out. He has some really cool content and he's going to be doing stuff with this thing. Maybe getting a new car down the line as well, so... Yeah. So to show you guys what we've done in the rear as well, so like I said, we've only done one side. Everything's all installed. So you got that weird long control arm that the Wilhelm suspension kit comes with. It's got some spaces there. There's a spacer also right there. And of course we have the poly bushes all installed and everything. Look at that, guys. Super happy with how it's turned out. This side was a little bit more complicated because you have to push a spherical bushing out of this hub right here. So you need to use the press kit. Can I clean in my Ash? Give me a rating out of 10.
You're dirty.
You're
dirty.
Choose your character.
What do you see, Rex?
2 L's.
2 L's.
Alright, so first thing we're gonna do is put some bushings into the control arm. So this is for the rear. So got a whole bunch of bushings right over here. Oh, and we need to get the bolts to figure out. Nope, they're back. Okay, so first thing we're gonna do is figure out exactly what bushings go into this control arm. So I already know because I've done this before, but it's these two that go into this bit over here. The first thing you gotta do, of course, is lube the hell out of them. Ash, where'd you put my lube?
I don't know, man.
Here's some lube.
Yeah.
Alright, bring it down, bro. Alright, so what we're gonna do is apply a liberal amount of lubrication because you don't want these things squeaking. Imagine them squeaking after installing them fresh.
Looks pretty good, but you seem experienced.
Lube up everything, make sure you got everything covered because you do not want these things to be squeaky. Bam, that's in.
Nice, man.
That, bro.
Dude.
We're not done yet though.
Not yet.
There's more. This is what the suspension should look like when you've done putting all the poly bushes in and all the centerpieces, the metal centerpieces. That's the rear done. Now before we put the arms in, we need to install a metal plug. I'm not too sure what you call it, but it replaces this bushing right here. So it's a solid bushing. So on the back of this hub, there is a rubber bushing right here. We need to press this out for the Wilhelm suspension kit. So we're gonna press this out with the press tool kit. So you can see here, this piece fits directly over the arm, the bushing and everything. It covers the whole piece. So there's something for the bushing to move into as this has got the gap for it. So as we're pushing it, the bushing will go where my finger is and it'll come through all the way and it'll come out. You're also gonna wanna find something that fits exactly over that metal piece as well. So I've got a socket here. The kit unfortunately doesn't include anything that's the right size for this metal piece around here. So we're just gonna use a 27mm socket and put that on the other side. So it'll be over down here. And then got to set this all up. I'll show you what it looks like. This is what's supposed to look like when the bushing press kit is on there. So you can see that there is that piece that the bushing will slide into. I've got the socket on the back of here and we've got 2 nuts on each side. So when I spin these nuts, they will come together. And as they do that, the socket's going to push on that bearing and it's going to go into this part right there. So you could use manual tools or you could use a dagger. Alright, there you go, there's the... Oh, it's warm. There's the old bushing out. It's pretty destroyed, but yeah, don't need it. And now we have to remove the socket from there. Just use a... Sure, it should just come out with a few taps. The next stage of all this is to install this control arm right here, which is 2 control arms that are connected together. Just got to remember to put the spacer on wherever it may be. It's probably at the back somewhere. We're also going to install this arm as well and then torque everything to spec. Before they go, 2 Honda boys. Nice. Okay, so I've got all the rear suspension done now. Everything's in. Have a look now. You can see 1 arm, 2 arm. There you go, everything's all in, torque to spec. The sheet over here, of course, tells you all the specifications, the torque specs and everything. So we also eyeball aligned the toe, so we have the toe sort of pointing just ever so slightly in. Okay, so I've had so much help from Ash and Naki, thank you guys so much. We've been slaving away. I've finally got the rear all done. I haven't really documented any of this really good because I've just been slaving away trying to get this all done, but we have everything done in the back. We've got the wheels back on. We've got everything done on the left side, so that's all torqued to spec and everything. We do need to put the wheels back on properly. And we're now just doing the left side, so I thought I'd show you this before I continue, but you will have to delete the dust shield because it is in the way of the new tie rod ends. So we're going to delete this, and there's only one way you can do it. You have to take the rotors off. You have to take 3 10mm bolts holding this thing on, and then you actually have to cut it off. So you can use an angle grinder, a Dremel, or whatever you want, but you have to cut it. There's a slit right there, and you just chop it, and you have to finagle this thing off. I'm not going to show you how it's done because it's such a big effort, but you have to delete the heat shield to install this kit. So we are back. I've turned my shirt inside out to get into the MR2 because we just steamed cleaned it, or I don't know, wet vac, whatever you want to call it. We finally have the MR2 on the ground. We rolled it off the jack stands and it is ready for its first test drive. There are a couple things that we need to do before we go for it, the first drive. Yeah, it's crazy. The job to do this is, it's insane. You got to do so much. Pull the old bushings out, install the new stuff, press new things in. It's crazy. I say a massive thank you to Naki and Ash for helping me out.
Bro.
Cheers, bro. With me till like 11:30. It's 11:30 now, yeah. Oh, damn! It's getting late.
I'm just glad it's over.
Yeah, cheers, bro.
I'm glad to see it on the ground.
hopefully it's done soon. Okay, so it's the next day now. It's probably been 3 or 4 days. I have not been keeping track of the days. They've just been flying past trying to get this MR2 back on the ground. But finally have it outside. I actually test drove it. I did not record. I should have, but I didn't. But just to see how the alignment would be, and it's horrible. It's all over the place. But man, that was a crazy job. That was next level. So it was just extremely time consuming. It wasn't hard at all. You just had to push all the old bushings out and get the new kit aligned and everything. Made it extra difficult as well because we were working in like 35-degree heat. I'm sure that came through on the video, but it was a very hard thing to do. This whole kit and poly bush overhaul. Man. But from what I felt so far, and we're obviously going to make another video on how this properly feels, but we do need to get an alignment before anything. From what it felt so far, there was no squeaks, no weird sounds, and the bump steer was gone. I didn't feel any sort of weird movement in the steering wheel. I think we're good. I'm happy. I'm so happy. Here's some like behind the scenes stuff of what's going on as well. Chloe bought this for me for my birthday last year, and I'm finally getting onto it, but it's like a little car wooden project. And it is complicated as hell. This just here has taken me like, you know, nearly, say like 72 hours of work right here. It's complicated as there's like gears and stuff and rubber bands that you gotta cut and stuff, like little mechanisms that go. It's crazy. We also have Marcus's laptop, which needs to come collect off me so we can make some more photos. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for sticking around to this long in the video. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one.